In the mid-Roman Republic, one century consisted of 60 soldiers. A century had one centurion, the commander, who was assisted by a tessararius, the guard commander, a signifer, the standard-bearer, and an optio, the second in command. Two centuries grouped together formed one maniple, and this made up the basic tactical unit of the Roman legion. The centurion from the right-hand century chose the centurion of the left-hand side, and also was in charge of the entire maniple when they were grouped together. One thing to bear in mind is that Roman citizens of that period were militia, not professional soldiers, which meant that they had to bring their own equipment. For this reason, the soldiers were divided into different groups based on their economic or social status. Their experience or age was also an important factor in dividing their roles. The Hastati was the youngest and poorest unit among the heavy infantry units. They wore sword, helmet, and shield, and were equipped with a cheaper type of body armor. One legion had 1,200 Hastati, and they were placed in the front line of the battle. Principes were similar to Hastati but older and wealthier, which meant they were better equipped and more experienced than the Hastati. Each legion had 1,200 Principes, and they were deployed behind the Hastati. Unlike the Hastati and the Principes, the Trai were the elite group of soldiers, using spears as their main weapons. They were wealthy enough to bring quality armors and weapons, and also they were the oldest and most experienced group in the entire legion. For that reason, they were rarer, and one legion had only 600 of them. Triarii were deployed in the last line. As you can see now, the heavy infantry was placed in a checkerboard formation called triplex axius. This formation allowed the Roman army to maneuver in more flexible and quicker ways, and gave them a tactical advantage compared to the formation of one massive line. Unlike the previous three types of units, the Velotes were light infantry with javelins as their main weapons. They were the youngest and poorest unit in the entire legion. They did not really wear armor or helmets unless they could afford them, but it was compulsory for them to wear animal skins on their heads, mostly wolf skins, so that the officers could easily spot them due to their distinctive appearance. Although we don't have specific information about how they were placed in the battle, it is believed that they were usually placed in the very front line at the beginning of the battles. After they used up their javelins, they retreated to the rear line, waiting for further orders. One legion had 1,200 Velotes. Lastly, the Equities were cavalry units. Like any other units in mid-Republican Rome, they had to bring their own equipment, including their horses. Therefore, they consisted of the wealthiest Roman citizens. One legion had only 300 Equities, and they were split into 10 troops. Each troop was led by 3 decurions. Now, this is the complete Roman legion before the Marian reforms. While the Roman citizens were organized into legions, the Italian allies were recruited to a group called ala. An ala had roughly the same number of infantry units as a legion, but had a 3 times larger cavalry. The ala was commanded by 3 prefects who had to be Roman citizens. A consular army, aka an army led by a general, usually consisted of 2 legions and 2 alae. In a battle, 2 Roman legions were placed in the middle, and the 2 alae were placed on the flanks. Ala Latina sinistra and ala Latina dextra, which means the ala on the left and the ala on the right. 1,800 Equities from the alae were placed on the left wing, while 600 Equities from the Roman legions were placed on the right wing. This is the complete consular army before the Marian reform. Thank you for watching.